That was rough. It was not a game that produced a whole lot of positives. We got to see Caleb on the first drive. It was mired with a shit ton of penalties, which was definitely a theme in this game. 20 total accepted penalties. And we go out and we get a field goal. Whatever. It's fine. I thought, considering the amount of dumb shit penalties that took away like actual good plays, I thought maybe you would get a second drive. Nope. Immediately go to Case Keenum. You remember what I said? Let's give Case Keenum, a little bit of a ride here. Well, I mean, he got 2 field goals, but there was also a turnover on downs and a punt or two, 2 punts. He didn't with Bajan out this week, and he was the focal starter. He did not play great. 9 for 17, 119 yards. The numbers seem impressive, but Miller Moss almost got to his numbers in a similar amount of game time, but they just made him throw the ball a shit ton. Caleb didn't do much, 2 for 528, but it was only a drive, so you can't really get much out of it. Leading receiver today is Maurice Alexander, 29-year-old out of Florida International. I don't really know why this guy's listed as a first year. He's been on practice squads since eons. Thank you, CBS. Yeah, the main back today was Roshan Johnson, 12 carries, 42 yards. Not the best. Ahmed looked a little better with 6 yards a carry. The the offense just kind of looked. The play calling wasn't as great, and it kind of just felt like a game of all time. And there weren't too many drives in this game until in the fourth quarter. A lot of the drives were pretty, at least like 2 to 4 minutes long. Especially the Bengals' second drive that only got a field goal. Yeah, the Bengals' offense was, especially their wide receivers, were just simply playing better. Yeah, they were just simply playing better. I guess I can go over the defense. The defense was pretty ass. The play calling was fine. It's just the talent out there was just not. It was not all that. This Dante Manning guy, I never want to see again. He was consistently giving up all the touchdowns. He gave up at least 2 or 3 touchdowns. It was just absolutely picked on, and he just basically did nothing to help himself. Skylar Thomas with the interception on a pretty poorly thrown ball. So yippee, we got an interception. Woo. Didn't really do much because we what was it? What was it on that drive? Oh yeah. All right, I guess we'll go back to it. Missed field goal. You remember last week when I said that we just need to, keep remembering that, Cairo Santos has his limits, and in the next year or two, we probably will need a kicker. I still say a year or two, but it's getting a little bit on the edge for me. So, in this game, he hit the first 3 field goals. He had a 45-yarder, a 26-yarder, and a 44-yarder to end the second half. It was that was like pretty much the only good drive was the final one where they were able to clock, or Case Keenum was able to clock the ball with 1 second left. After a pretty good pass in the middle. That was like the one good drive that we had, and it was only 23 seconds long. So I guess some pretty good play calling there with, your second or third string guy. But then in the second half, he gets an opportunity to sink a 53-yarder, and he hits it wide right. Now, if we transition ourselves back to last game, he went 2 for 3 with his long of 51 and a miss of 50 yards. Now, that is absolutely not promising when your kicker, your reliable Cairo Santos, is missing kicks at 50 yards. And now we've known for many years that he does not have the leg. He's money pretty much everywhere else, but he does not have the leg. 54 yards was his long last year. So, we knew this. We all knew this. Everybody knew this. This was exactly how it's going to go. You just can't kick kicks that are longer than 50 whatever. That's just how he is. He his longest kick since 2020 was 55 yards. Like that's his longest kick for the Bears was 50-some yards. 55 yards. And it will be a question come next offseason that we're probably going to have to change kickers. Now, I don't really fully remember the contract of Cairo Santos, and I'm not really going to pull it up. I was fine with giving the contract. I think giving the contract to him was good because he is, a decently reliable kicker from short range and has proved in the elements that he can kick really well, even if, the weather just decides to, blow 30 miles an hour. He can kick the ball pretty well. But he does not have range. He has pretty god-awful range. We've known this. Obviously we've kind of fooled ourselves into thinking he's an elite kicker. He's not really an elite kicker. He's just great for kind of what the Bears need, which is a kicker that can kick in the elements. And, that's about it. He can't really kick long. And now we have dudes like, Little. They're kicking 70-yarders in the preseason. Harrison Butker. I like my women in the kitchen. Butker, hitting a 69-yarder earlier today. You got kickers like that all over the league. And you're kind of just sitting there with the Bears, and you're just like, okay, you're paying a kicker that can't kick more than 50-yard field goals any sort of money. Like, that's not great. That's not great. And we will have to revisit it in the off season. We're going to have to run through all the tests this season. If he really is ass this season, then yes, you have to cut bait on him. But if he is just Cairo Santos, regular Cairo Santos for the season, then just keep him. But I would hope that the Bears know that they have to reevaluate kickers, because the Packers literally just drafted their next kicker. Like, they just drafted the next kicker of their franchise. That'll probably stick around for 10 to 15 years. Like, he's gone perfect in the preseason. He's 7 of 7, and he's booted, 3 kicks over 50 yards. His longest is 59. Our kicker doesn't even sniff 50 that well. So, I'm just saying, it's not great to have a situation like this where your kicker is kind of just, you can't really kick long. We'll just have to reevaluate again. Reevaluate at the end of the season. What we don't have to reevaluate is Miller Moss. And I understand he was Caleb's buddy, Caleb's backup at USC. But he has definitely lost the 4th string job. I would not mind just not having him on the practice squad and let him go elsewhere. He's just not. He's not shown me what I want. He's held on to the ball for too long. And even against the Bengals' defensive line, eventually they are going to get to you. And he got dropped twice because of it. Case Keenum wasn't sacked. I don't know why that guy just has mobility. Speaking of old guys with mobility, Josh Johnson. This guy is 40 years old. He played at the powerhouse of San Diego. I'm sorry, what? San Diego? Yeah. He played exceptionally well. 15 for 23, 156, 2 touchdowns. Sean Clifford played okay outside of that one terrible interception. I don't know why we were getting absolutely cooked by these guys. Again, the Bengals didn't have a run game, but that's just the story of the Bengals. Devin Bush got absolutely cooked on that one incident. That, just happens because Josh Johnson, you don't expect a 40-year-old to have that kind of athleticism, but, here we are. There's a reason why he's been in the league for so long, and, I believe that he's probably, he's definitely competing with Joe Flacco for the backup position. That's all I have to say. But yeah, our corners were just getting cooked all game by the throwing equivalent of paper towels, and but receivers with the equivalent of whatever. We got out coached by Zach Taylor. That's pretty much all I have to say. We got out coached in terms of developing talent by Zach Taylor. I wouldn't say necessarily on the field. Some of those play calls were very suspicious, like running the ball 3 straight times. We need to kill clock. Like, I mean, it makes sense, but also, those run plays were not at all impressive. But yeah, just not a whole lot of good this game, other than Vandenberg looked alright, and Hippolyte actually got decent playing time for the first time in his life. Wow. Also, I don't understand why Joe Flacco didn't play. I don't know. I just hope that Caleb Williams gets a quarter against the Titans. It'll be a nice warm up for against those schmucks. Hopefully, it's just schmucks. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. There was just not a lot of positives. And you can't even say that there was, backup QB battle because fucking Bajan has a hammy injury. So, what can you do? What can you do? But, yeah, it should be all for me. I don't really have anything to say other than look at kickers next year. Look at fucking signing more corners or drafting more corners next season. And, yeah, that's about it. Troy Taylor did fine. That's all I have to say. It had like one shank, but that's about it. One bad pun. It wasn't a shank. It was just bad. Yeah. I guess see you guys next week for the final round of preseason ball. See ya.